Recently, the purchasing power parity, or the PPP, of the euro has started to decline because of numerous reasons. The PPP is an indicator of how a currency is valued and determines its buying ability. The euro has started to lose its value because of the fall of Greece's economy and the problems that have come from it. Several countries and organizations have tried to save the value of the euro, but to little avail. The International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, has started to advise Greece on what their next step should be, but little help has come from them. The IMF is like an international financial advisor who helps countries with their economic struggles. Germany, who has the best economy currently in the EU, has taken austerity measures to try to help Greece, but they have not yet gotten Greece back on their feet with a stable economy. Germany has recently been pushing the UK to help with the matter, but they have taken a state of isolationism, where they have said that they are trying to fix their own problems before helping the EU. When voting on economic policy to start to help with the problem with Greece, the UK has taken the opposite stance with what the rest of the Eurozone has taken, slowing down any relief that they can handle. The German Chancellor has warned the UK that they should either leave or become an active citizen of the Eurozone. If they do not do either, they will be forced out. In the future, I think the UK will leave the Eurozone because it already has its own currency and its economy is doing okay compared to others. With them leaving, the Eurozone will get more work through to helping Greece and will either have great success or failure. A global economy is when countries work together for the betterment of everyone's economy and make decisions on what would be in best interest for everyone rather than a single country. In a global economy, certain countries use specialization to their advantage by being the only supplier of a certain commodity, creating a better and bigger economy. With this economy, they create a bigger GNP, which shows how much a country's economy grows each year. The GNP is the gross national product, which reflects how much a country has produced on its home soil. In a global economy, a single country can affect a global economy, like with what is happening in the European Union. The European Union, or the EU, is an economic and political organization between European countries. In the EU, most countries use the same currency, the euro. In the Eurozone, Greece's economy has gone into turmoil and has caused the rest of the Eurozone to go down with it. But the adverse effect has been happening by Germany, who has been trying to save Greece and save the euro with its great economy. In the mix of all of this is the UK, who has gone into a state of isolationism where they have not been an active member of the EU and has said that they are going to fix their problems before they start to consider helping others. This has caused some tension in the EU, with countries wanting the UK to either leave or the EU to become an active member. With this, they have slowed down the process to helping the rest of the EU. In a global economy, power is concentrated into the hands of a few. Although it tries to promote equality in some cases, global power is always in the hands of just a few. There will always be a form of comparative advantage between countries, because although a country is able to do economic activity, doesn't mean that it will be doing well after. Also, not every country can do the same economic activity. Like the US may be able to enact the Farm Bill, but doesn't mean that another country would. The same is happening in the EU. The UK and Germany have good economies. Germany is trying to promote economic equality with the rest of the EU, while UK is not, by focusing on their best interests rather than the EU's. Economic policy has a lot of intended and unintended consequences. This meaning that although a policy is made for a certain reason, doesn't mean that it will necessarily turn out that way. Like when a country decides to increase the rate of its tariffs. A tariff is a tax on imports and exports. An increase on tariffs could be used to raise more economic funds for a country, helping them to get to a better economic stance. But it could also decrease the amount of trade, causing the country to not raise funds and remain economically where they were previously. With the current problems with the EU, the UK could be leaving, hopefully allowing the EU to make decisions to try and help Greece instead of being held back by the UK. But is that what would really come out of the UK leaving, or would it really cause a jump start for countries to start to help Greece in their situation? Different market systems can coexist in a global economy, but it's a little harder to deal with than just having a single market type in a global economy. There are several forms of market systems used throughout the world, the most common being a command economy, a market economy, and a mixed economy. A command economy is when the government says exactly what is to be made in a country and what gets imported into a country. A good example of this form of economy is China. A market economy is when what is being made is determined by market forces, which also determine the price of goods. A mixed economy is when you have a mix of two or more different market systems coexisting in the same country. The most common mixed economy is a mix between a market economy and command economy. The reason it is difficult for these markets to coexist in a global economy is because there may not always be what a country is looking for to trade. The market economy can make what the command economy wants, but the command economy may not always make what the market system economy wants.